Hello, this is Mel Thompson, and this is a podcast, and a series of podcasts about political risk. Today we're going to be talking about the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Since the year 2000, the African Growth and Opportunity Act, also known as AGOA, has opened many doors on the African continent. When this law was signed by Bill Clinton, no one really completely knew exactly how it would benefit not only the people of Africa who are trying to start new businesses and advance the product line that they may already have into other areas of not only the continent but the world. What they did not realize was that the act also created many opportunities for foreign direct investors and companies. Companies and foreign direct investors can get into Africa as a conduit for more opportunities to be created for each one of these small businesses. In other words, the connectivity between this act and the small businesses will create the chance for foreign direct investors to advance and basically double the opportunity for the companies that have already started and moved forward from scratch. The foreign direct investors that walk into that situation would not have been able to do that without the act. This created a lot of opportunities. It opened a lot of doors. Companies have been able to benefit for the same reason foreign direct investors have been able to benefit. There are places to actually work with and advance the opportunities of the businesses on the ground, whether they have been struggling to be more productive and larger, or if they're a startup. These types of opportunities are created one at a time, but there are opportunities that need to be helped along, and these types of small businesses were helped along by the AGOA. The overall ability to obtain grants for businesses and startups is what we're really looking at as the crux of this entire act and how it has benefited foreign direct investors, companies, and the people of Africa through creating new business opportunities. The AGOA has made it much easier for African business to access the programs offered by the U.S. Africa Development Foundation. These programs provide grant money. And without grant money, or seed money, if you will, in a lot of cases, no one's going to be moving forward at all. These great opportunities, these great things I just discussed, will not be able to outweigh some political risks. The AGOA has not and will never remove the political risks that are inherent in many African nations. Chief among these political risks are corruption. The second most serious political risk is conflict, whether it be civil or cross-border, even though a war obviously is much more serious than somebody taking a bribe. The reality is that you have corruption at every single level in every African country. You do not have every single African country at war, either internally or cross a border. So therefore, corruption is the biggest political risk and the biggest problem. And AGOA and no other government program from any government on earth is going to ever resolve that problem. You just need to be careful and follow the rule of law and not get yourself into a situation where you're even tempted to cross a line where there's bribery involved to get an opportunity in an African country. Those people who started those businesses in Africa, on the continent of Africa, are just as gifted and well-meaning as people in the United States or any other country on earth. They just needed an opportunity that was provided through seed money that was freed up through AGOA via the U.S. Africa Development Foundation. With roughly 50% of all jobs on the African continent being created by small businesses, the impact of AGOA and the USADF, also known as the U.S. Africa Development Foundation, the impact of these two programs cannot be measured as the culmination of a business making a profit day after day or year after year. It can only be measured through the prism of a long-term growth impact that we have seen from day one over the past 15 years on the African continent, where businesses have been created and expanded and opportunities open to foreign direct investors and companies thanks to the act and the programs and the grant money provided by the U.S. Africa Development Foundation. This has been Mel Thompson.